breaks below 67, there is a high possibility then again we may see a pullback action from those level, and then possibly we can see a continuation of this uptrend towards 78 to 85 kind of level. But he has to hold this position because it's a low beta stock. 67 is the immediate support area where one should keep eye, or one can average out at 67 rupees also.
Right. Next up, we have a question from Muthu Kumar. He is talking about the counter HFCL. He's bought the stock at an average price of 81. Currently, the stock is trading around 89 level, so a considerable amount of profit there. But he wants to know the long-term view on this. Gaurang, should he continue holding HFCL?
So, again, no specific comments over here since we don't have a coverage, but let me give a little bit of history. If you look at the performance of the stock and the balance sheet strength, one needs to be extremely careful and cautious when you get into these kind of names. No specific recommendation since we don't have a coverage. Alternative investments could be a better suggestion.
Right. Do you have, Rajesh, any view on HFCL based on the technical levels?
So if I analyze on the medium term to long term chart structure, there is a breakout on monthly chart. Stock managed to give breakout of its multiple month supply zone at 83 rupees. So that clearly shows that after a long consolidation of almost 12 to 18 months, stock managed to give this breakout. So 83, 84 is the important trajectory for the stock on the downside. Till this stock is holding above this level, then there is a high possibility that we can see a momentum further higher towards 96 to 105. That could be the possible target on a positional basis. So as he has bought it around 81 rupees, so he may trail his stop loss higher to 84 rupees and hold the position for further upside target of 95 to 105.
Okay. Reggie Varghese has got the next question. He's writing in from Kerala. Not a stock that we talk about every day, understandably, Gaurang, and I'm not certain if you have a view on this. This is Circa Paint, and I was looking up the company. It apparently is wood coatings is what it does. So, one, if you have a fundamental view on this, please do share. If not, on the building material space, what do you like?
Well, certainly, again, don't have a coverage, but the entire industry looks quite well poised in terms of futuristic growth. And let me say this, Alex, if real estate sector has to do good, then entire ancillary building material, pipes, fittings, house decor, sanitary ware, ceramic tile manufacturing companies, all of them are going to do well because that's the fallback of a sector doing well. Now, on the paint industry overall, just to give you a picture, we are positive on Asian Paints, Berger Paints, and Kansai Nerolac. Crude oil prices on the lower level also transforms a little bit of positivity in terms of the input cost coming down and margins getting expanded to a higher level. So entire, we like, and including, we were speaking about Polycab. So we have competitors like RR Cable, who came out with an IPO some time back. We're positive on that. Havells is something that we are positive on. So if real estate sector does well, all these ancillary which support the growth of real estate sector is likely to do well.
Right, we're already seeing pretty good numbers coming out in the real estate sector for their Q3 business update. But Rajesh, do you have a view on Circa Paints? They want to know the buying levels in the stock.
So overall, if I analyze the stock is moving in upsloping channel on the daily chart. That clearly shows that there is a sustained uptrend is taking place in the stock. Stock is trading above to all its important moving averages on the weekly chart. Series of higher top, higher bottom formation is there. So that clearly shows there is a sustained buying is taking place in the stock. If you get any opportunity in decline towards 405, 402, that's the near-term support area for the stock where you can buy the stock with stop loss of 390. That's the stop loss you can place when you buy at around 405. And on the higher side, the kind of momentum which we are seeing that, it may continue further towards 445, 450 could be the near-term to short-term target for the stock.
Right. Next up, we have a question from Ashokan, and he's writing to us from Mumbai. He's talking about Nestle. Now, we've seen a lot of interest in this particular stock. We have a lot of viewers writing on this. The stock has been falling after the stock split. But Gaurang, how do you view Nestle for the longer term?
Well, so honestly, I think we are extremely upbeat about the entire FMCG pack. And India was, is, and always remain a consumption-driven story. This stock has its own history in terms of performance, and after the corporate development, normally you tend to see any stock which goes through this corporate development languish a little bit on the sideways to lower level. But given the kind of product profile and the power brands that Nestle has across categories, and is one of the leaders as far as noodles are concerned. So and we have a whole recommendation on Nestle from a long-term point of view. And if anybody is wanting to look at investing in Nestle from a long-term point of view, I would definitely recommend that.
Okay, fair point. And specifically, I'm just adding to that question, Gaurang. Now, the ability to buy in smaller quantities is also available, or rather, because the ticket size has changed. Does that change your strategy as well? It allows you to buy more than you could previously.
Yeah, of course, because that's the float. Alex, there was always a problem for certain stocks which have a very limited amount of float in terms of volumes and stocks getting traded both on the NSE and BSE. And when these kind of developments happen, it does give an opportunity for, rather mid-size or smaller investors to participate in the stock, given the kind of split that has happened, or bonuses, etc., etc. So it does, and it also increases the liquidity. I would advise a staggered buying in Nestle. Possibly something like an SIP would do well over the next 2 to 3 years period.
Right.
Okay, we have to slip into a very quick break. Gaurang as well as Rajesh, do stay with us, and viewers, will be back before you know it.
Welcome back. You're watching Ask Profit. Let's quickly jump into the questions. But before we do that, Gaurang, we're getting more queries on Polycab. Is it a good time to buy the stock right now? Would you suggest buying?
Well, honestly, it's at 4,800, 4,900, we had given a sell recommendation with a lower target of 4,400 thereabout. And at present, the stock is trading at somewhere close to about 3,950 or 80. My advice to investors would be that just wait for the dust to settle down. Don't rush into taking any kind of steps which may possibly turn out to be otherwise, because we need clarity. And what we don't have right now is confusion and clarification. And markets don't like any kind of uncertainty. So since we have a sell recommendation, but it is trading below our lower target price, and we need to introspect as well, my team. And of course, and this will be done post the clarity. So difficult to give any comments in terms of buying or selling right now.
All right. Thanks so much, Gaurang, for the view that you're able to share. Dr. P. Somaya, I hope that answers your question. And by the way, Smriti, I asked him where he's tuning in from. And he said in front of the TV. So that answers the question.
Fair.
Go to the next one.
Right. Next one, we're talking about Adani Wilmar. This is from Adarsh from Kerala. He wants a long-term view in this stock. Gaurang, Adani Wilmar, we've seen some news flow around this. How do you view this for the longer term?
So I think post the listing, the stock showed a tremendous amount of performance on the higher side. Again, over here, we don't have any specific coverage on Adani Wilmar, so I won't be able to comment buy and hold. But let me say this, I think there's plenty of opportunity. And the space that Adani Wilmar caters to, I think it has got opportunity to garner larger market share with the kind of products that they have. In terms of performance, well, one of the quarters for this financial year and last financial year was a little bit weaker given the input cost on the elevated side. But I think all that has now become a thing of the past, and most of the consumer-driven companies will do well over a period of time. So we'll have to wait for the numbers to unfold in terms of the performance, but no specific coverage.
Right. Rajesh, how does it look on the charts now? In the last 1 year, it's down about 36%. Do you think there's opportunity to buy in the stock right now?
So we have seen a significant recovery in most of the Adani Group stock, but Adani Wilmar is still struggling to cross its supply zone, which is placed at around 390-95 zone. So until the stock not crosses above 395, it may remain in consolidation for some more time. Once it crosses about 395, 400 kind of level, then possibly we may see some, a good amount of buying action again in the stock, and then possibly we can see further higher target. But till now, we believe that, some more consolidation we can see in the range of 345 to 390. This could be the possible range for some more time for Adani Wilmar.
Standard disclaimer here. We are speaking to you as NDTV Profit. This is part of the NDTV Group, which is owned by the Adani Group as well. This next question is specifically to you, Gaurang, and it's coming in from Babu, who's asking about a couple of stocks that he's thinking of having an SIP approach to. One is Trent and the other is Titan. He's looking at the long-term prospects. What would you say?
So Titan definitely is, and I think it's a good approach by investors, asking these kind of questions and having a very disciplined approach is something that we need whenever you invest in stock market, with a disclosure that stock market is exposed to all kind of risk internally as well as externally. But the two names in question, Titan, we do have a coverage on the fundamental side. We have a buy recommendation. That's a disclosure. On Trent, we used to cover this particular stock, but post the targets were achieved, we have not initiated any further coverage. But it remains to be one of the most dominating names as far as retail is concerned, Alex, and the management has guided towards opening up many more stores, not only in the metro but tier 2, tier 3 cities. And these stores caters to a large number of customer base as well. And historically speaking, from that traditional footfall in the e-commerce platform, now people have started to go offline as well as. So there's going to be a major shift with the kind of touch and feel experience that the customer has, which is not there on the online platform. So I think that's, in that case, companies like Trent, Shoppers Stop, Aditya Birla Fashion, etc. should benefit to a great extent.
Right, understood. Next up, we have a question from Sujay from Kolkata. He has already bought Bank of Maharashtra shares at 49.5. The current price is below that price. Rajesh, would you suggest holding it onto for the longer term?
So we've seen a good amount of rally in last couple of months. Stock is now consolidating at a higher band of this rally. On the higher side, the major supply zone is placed at around 49.50 rupees. So once the stock crosses above those levels, then possibly we can see a rally towards a 65 kind of level on a positional basis. So he may hold the position as overall structure is on the medium term to long term is on the bullish side. We believe that till stock is holding above 43 level on a monthly or weekly closing basis, I think there is no as such worry in terms of trend. So with stop loss of 43, he may hold the position, and on the breakout of 50, he may add further more position. I think then really can extend to 60 to 65 kind of level.
Okay, I'm not terribly sure about the volumes in this particular counter, but it is a technical query, so I'm going to come to you. Gargi from West Bengal is asking about Honeywell Auto, and this is obviously a stock with a high ticket price, 36,800 rather, is where it is currently trading. Is it worth accumulating is the question. Technical view is being sought. Rajesh, over to you.
Yeah, definitely. It's a very low volume stock. Still now only 2,200 units have been traded in this counter. It's a high ticket size stock. So I think stock is in downtrend at this moment on the near term to short term perspective. If we look at the chart structure, stock has taken support from its multiple support zone of 35,000. So that level is important to watch for on the downside. But again, I think if their view is to buy and accumulate for a short to medium term perspective, they may buy with stop loss of 35,000. On the higher side, once stock crosses about 37,800, then we can see good rally towards 39,000, even 40,000 kind of level. But at this moment, stock is in consolidation. Buy on dips is the strategy, but keep your stop loss at 35,000 level.
Right. Next up, we have a question from Shiv Kumar from Dubai. He's talking about Rajesh Exports. They've already bought shares at 548 levels. Currently, the stock is trading around 370. Gaurang, would you have a view on this one?
I'll give it a pass, Smriti. You don't have coverage.
All right. Let's take a technical view then. Rajesh, how does Rajesh Exports look to you?
So, Smith, it's in a downtrend series of lower top, lower bottom formation on daily chart. Stock is trading below to all its near-term, short-term moving average. That clearly shows that there is a weakness in the stock across all time frame. We don't see recovery in in a hurry in the stock at this moment. We believe that whenever we see any kind of pullback towards 400, 420, again there would be a supply pressure. Until the stock not crosses above 420, 440 level on the higher side on a weekly closing basis, there won't be any recovery kind of trade is going to take place. So I think it may remain under pressure only. Sell on rise is the strategy in this stock. On the downside, once the stock again breaks below 340, maybe it may continue furthermore down move towards 280 to 60 kind of level also. So overall structure is very weak.
All right. Gaurang, as well as Rajesh, thank you so much for joining in and answering all the questions that you did. And viewers, I hope that all of the questions that were answered today helped you in some way, either directly or indirectly. That brings us to the end of this particular edition of Ask Profit. Thank you so much for watching. Do stay tuned. Lots more coming up on NDTV Profit.